It is just after 7 o'clock. It is Ken and Deb here. Good morning. And not only are we on the radio right now, we're on Facebook Live as well.
Hi.
Hi. It's a mid-morning show coffee break is what we call this. And so, yeah, thanks for joining us. You can hop on there if you're not on Facebook now, and you can go ahead and just say hi and what you doing, what are you doing this morning. We're going to also throw out some different questions as well in between segments on the radio, and so you can join the conversation on Facebook Live as well. So it'll be fun.
Yeah, and if you want to call us and be part of the conversation this morning, we're kind of talking about spotting the helpers in our situation in
Yeah.
our country right now.
That's
And
right.
to brag about that a little bit and say, hey, I saw this great story about, and share with us this morning that story at 800-221-9356.
It is 7:03. Here is Mercy Me with God with Us on Moody Radio Quad Cities. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
So we're starting out talking about what you did over the weekend. We were supposed to do Facebook Live yesterday, but weren't able to do it because of all that's going on.
Right.
But we're still thinking about maybe some new things that we did this weekend that we hadn't done in a long time before. Like I hadn't grilled out for a long time, and I grilled out this weekend.
Yeah?
Had
What'd you have?
had brat burgers,
Oh, yeah.
and teriyaki chicken.
Nice.
I'm just finishing it up.
When you only have like two people in the house, we've still got like leftovers for 3 or 4 days, because my daughter and son-in-law were here, and so we had bigger meals and we had some leftovers, and so we're still trying to finish those up as well.
I love leftovers because it's like, oh, I don't have to worry about what to make because I've got all these leftovers that I grilled out. So,
Right.
Anyway, so what did you do over the weekend? Do anything new? I know some churches were open this weekend, so maybe that's one
Right.
of the things you did.
Right?
I have to go get the door, though. Jared Hall's here.
Okay, yeah. Jared's going to be coming up here at about 7:30, 7:35 with our morning devotional today. But so what did you do this weekend that maybe you haven't done in a while? Well, we're kind of isolated out in the country, and so we were able to, still kind of do what we normally do. And that's we were putting in the garden and getting stuff, all that done. So I'm trying to find it, Jeremy. Let's see. Where
Heidi's
is it?
just been chiming in, and she's answering your questions. So
I need some help, Jeremy. I need a lot of help. So, I gotta go to the home key, scroll down, hand signals. There it is. I never know where to look because as an administrator of the site, it looks different than when you're like the normal person, going onto our site. And so I'm going, I don't know where to go. But anyway. Hey, so Heidi, hi, good morning, Heidi. And Patrick is on there, good morning. And so, yeah.
I'm still trying to find us too. I'm looking at me from the last morning show break. I was like, I'm not wearing that today.
Hold on.
How did that work out?
Let me see. So go back.
Okay. Okay, here we go. I'm going to try this one. Okay. There we go. Well, Jared Hall is here too.
Yes,
so
that's right.
Jared, pop on there while Ken's helping me.
Scroll down.
Or how many guys does it take to help Deb get on the morning show coffee break?
One more than we currently have. That's the answer. One more than we currently have.
More. Oh, there we are. I bet this is where it is.
That's where it says live, yep.
Okay.
Look.
Well, thank you for being patient with us this morning. Oh, a lot of people saying hi.
I need a cup of coffee.
Heidi and
Hey, Wayne.
Yeah.
Morning. Thanks for watching.
Oh, hi-
Kathleen, Paula.
Yeah.
It's great. So, the question for you guys, what did you do this weekend that maybe you haven't done in a while? I know that there are some folks that have been quarantining themselves at our church, and they actually went over to Iowa and got something to eat
Oh,
that they haven't been
I
able to
actually
do,
did
so.
that too.
Okay.
I forgot about that. I did that
Wow,
Friday
grilling
night.
out and going out to eat. You are a wild one there, Deb.
Once again, all about the food.
I know. That is Mercy Me with God with Us on Moody Radio Quad Cities. It's Ken and Deb here, and we are doing our mid-morning show coffee break on Facebook Live. If you want to jump on there as well, you can share that with us. Also, we're talking this morning about how have you seen people really stepping up? The helpers, I think is what you called them, right? The helpers during this time of unrest in and around our country. How have you seen other believers? Maybe you've heard about a story. Maybe you've experienced it yourself. A story of how somebody has stepped up to really just make a difference. Be an ambassador for Christ.
That's right.
We'd love to hear about that.
Our phone number is 800-221-9356. We have a story about a sheriff in Flint, Michigan that was really powerful to see. I mean, he basically, went out to the crowd and took off of all of his armor, all the things that were holding him back, and joined with them and say, hey, we're going to make this a parade, and I will be here with you all night if
Right.
necessary. I'm walking with you.
Yeah, I like that, where he said, hey, let's go. Where you guys want to go? We'll walk all night, But just wanted to be there with them and to show that they do have, compassion. He said, these cops love you, And I thought that was really
That's
cool.
right. And he even pointed, he said, that cop over there hugs people.
That's right. I love that. But so anyway, if you've seen or heard of a story where people have been making a difference during this time and really trying to bring that unity back together in our country, let us know. You can call or text us, 800-221-9356.
How's the coffee?
I've got coffee now.
Good.
Yeah. Part of the team.
You are part of the team, Jared.
Only because I assert myself. I just gotta keep showing up every day.
So did you do anything special, Jared, over the weekend that you haven't done for a while?
Grab that mic right
If
there.
you're
so we
gonna,
can hear
yeah,
you.
you're gonna need the mic.
I always do special things because I have 3 little kids, so
It's never boring, right?
it's never boring.
That's
Yeah,
right.
it's always something different.
Kind of like our farm. There's always something going on.
Exactly, yeah,
know?
because something is going to happen.
Yeah.
Like you're not
I
going to just
equate
have
children sometimes with my animals because
Right.
kids will escape from the house and go do stuff. Animals will escape the fence.
Right.
They get out and go do stuff.
some of your animals
know.
might be more predictable than my children even. So, yeah.
Probably.
It's true. We did have a couple alumni in the area this weekend who I was able to see, and one of them is hoping to be a missionary in Australia and is actually engaged to a lady in Australia. And because of COVID-19, their whole wedding plan is totally in flux. Like he can't get a
Wow,
visa.
that's rough.
I guess Australia has a really strong relationship with Greece, and that's actually where they met. And so they may go to Greece first.
Okay.
That might be the first place they can get visas, and so yeah, it's very interesting. So, and then I found out he had an extreme peanut allergy that I didn't know about,
Oh.
and I almost gave him the new Monster Cookie ice cream from Whitey's.
Oh.
Oh.
That
But
could've
it was
been-
stopped before there was tragedy there.
It was
Good.
It was. There was no tragedy this weekend in my house, in my actual household.
Wow.
So yeah, so that was an interesting. It was a
Like
full
we
on
said,
weekend.
never a dull moment.
Never a dull moment.
That's
yeah,
right.
I've been doing a lot of grilling lately.
Yeah,
Ken, have you been doing some cooking?
I have. Did some grilling of some steaks, and what else did we do? trying to remember. We did most
10
recently the
seconds.
steaks, so we've got to go back on the air. Amen. It's 7:12. It is Ken and Deb here. Good morning. Thanks so much for being along with us. As you may have heard, we are postponing Share.
Yes.
We're not doing that starting tomorrow. But thanks to everybody that has been giving. You know, we've had a lot of folks that have given over the past, well, since March, really. But I mean, just recently, again, people are giving. And Yes, even though we're not doing it, we are listener supported, and we could really use your help.
Yeah, and you can get involved by calling 800-600-9624 or going online at moodyradio.org/Quad Cities. But we would just really covet your prayers at Moody Bible Institute and Moody Radio during these difficult times in Chicago. That's where they're headquartered, and it's difficult days for the Institute right
Sure,
now.
yeah.
And also lots of uncertainty because of not having events like Share
Right.
and having to postpone them. So God's in control. He loves us, and we trust him. And we just thank you so much for sticking with us,
Yeah.
being with us.
That's right. The website, again, if you wanted to give, is moodyradio.org/Quad Cities. It's 7:13. Here's Matthew West talking about the God who stays on Moody Radio Quad Cities. Good morning. So
Grilling some steaks.
grown some steaks.
Now, your own steaks? Like, did you?
Yes.
These come from Bessie?
Probably not Bessie. I'm trying to remember what his name was. I don't remember. But so my son-in-law had picked up some steaks at the store and brought them with them from Chicago. But I said, well, we got to have some of mine too. So had some New York strips,
Oh, yeah.
and those are really good.
Yeah.
And so
Well, one of our listeners, Kathy, said my family came to my house. We grilled burgers and they made s'mores.
at the fire
At
pit.
the fire pit. Isn't that wonderful? That's a fun summer thing to do.
That
And
is.
she said, most fun I've had in months. So good to be with them.
Yes.
And isn't it great to be able to gather again, even in small groups, or to be able to be with friends or your family.
To
for the
be in the
first time.
studio with you
Right.
guys.
I know. That is so exciting.
not looking
that
at you
you're
through a
here.
screen.
Right? I do miss the G, though, behind your head.
That's fair. I'll
You know,
bring it
on
with
the
me
screen.
next time.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
People think I'm really conceited that I have a G behind me, but my wife put it there. And it's G for all audiences.
Oh, I
It's-
see.
Yeah.
Oh, not G for Jared.
Rated
Well,
G.
that's what Jared is for all
I
audiences.
see.
Is her idea.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. She
Yeah.
put the two together.
So
That's right.
To
Yeah.
clue
She is
you
an
in,
English major.
To clue you in, when we would do Zoom with Jared, behind him in his office, he has this big G on the wall, and I could never figure out what that was. And so now it all comes to light. Now I see what it is.
And because my name is not properly spelled, it starts with a G, not with a J,
Right?
which some people don't know.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, that's understandable too. There's many levels to this. Now, are you a Green Bay Packer fan too?
No, that's Brian
Okay.
Bill.
Okay.
Yeah, that's different
Like
guy.
how far can
Yeah.
we move this
Different
G
moody
thing
element. Yeah, yeah.
around your life?
He
Do you
does
like
not-
to grill, as in G?
He does.
Starts with G.
Yes, yeah.
He
With-
does not live in Geneseo, though.
No, I'm not a Maple Leaf.
Do you like giraffes?
Very much so. Yeah, I think it
boy.
costs way too much to feed them at Niobe, but I do enjoy doing it. Yeah, it's fun. So, Deb, do you do the cooking?
Yes. Yes, I do the cooking.
And then do you also do the grilling?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
And what's your favorite thing to grill?
What's my favorite thing to grill? Probably chicken.
I
I
find
think.
chicken really hard. Tell me more about this.
I don't know. I just time it.
Oh.
Time it, and also indirect cooking.
Yes, that's key, right? Yeah.
So what you want to do is you got your grill, if you're using charcoal, you have your charcoal on one side, you cook it until you get the marks on it, and you get it up to a certain temperature. Then you move it off and indirectly cook it so that you don't get it dried out, you don't get it burnt, but you get it cooked. I learned that just from watching my cooking shows.
Yes, I've been teaching a lot of people about that with the charcoal grill. Because I think it tastes better to cook with charcoal, but most people find it difficult because it usually gets undercooked or overcooked, and that indirect cooking has been the
It's really good.
secret to my success too.
Thanks to Chef Tom online that taught me how to do some things like that. So
I
But-
do have a question about charcoal if we have another.
And
Hold
you'll
that
have
thought.
to
We've
hold
got
that
10
thought.
seconds.
That's right. That's called a radio tease on Facebook Live. There's Matthew West with The God Who Stays on Moody Radio Quad Cities. It's Ken and Deb here at 716. You know, it's amazing the conversations that we get into off air. As we like to say around here, we occasionally, most often, most likely we'll get around to talking about food at some point. And that's where it turned on Facebook Live.
It did, because we were talking about weekend activities, and it turns out a lot of people have been grilling outside.
Right.
It was perfect weather for it this past weekend.
yeah.
That is for sure. And there's nothing like getting outside and just flipping those burgers.
Well, the thing about it is it's also a great way to have camaraderie and to bring just unity together. You can invite some neighbors over or people that that you know from church or whatever. And during this time of unrest, what a great opportunity to just, let's just get together and maybe, you have somebody that you have personal differences with in some case because of whatever. But you just say, let's get together and cook some food and just have some fun, and get to know one another. That's the big thing.
Yeah, it is. And so as we talk about the helpers today, those that have just really stepped up, you made me think of something. In my old neighborhood, there was a gentleman at the end of the block. He was right at the end where people mostly traveled.
Right?
And he would get out with his small little grill, and he'd grill hot dogs for anybody that stopped by and give them a hot dog
That's cool.
and talk to them.
Wow.
And I thought that was so neat. What a community building thing, just to give away. Sit there,
Yeah.
grill up some hot dogs, and as kids rode their bike by or
Yeah.
cars drove into the cul-de-sac where we lived, he would give out a hot dog.
Yeah. And good
If you wanted one.
conversation.
Yeah.
And what a great ministry opportunity, too, if you think about it. Great idea. So we're looking for stories about the helpers, those that are helping the situation instead of hurting the situation. So maybe you've seen or heard of that. You can let us know. Call or text us, 800-221-9356.
Okay, Deb, what's your question about charcoal?
Deb, your question.
Okay. I'm having problem with my new Weber grill that I got last year as
Okay.
far as it doesn't get as hot as my old one. I can't figure it out. I put the
Have you
same
adjusted
amount.
the airflow?
Yeah, it's got the same. I have the air open on the bottom.
Yep.
But the little thermometer that's on top of the lid,
Not getting as hot.
it's not getting as hot as it should get.
Are you using less charcoal?
No.
I'm just kidding.
Maybe I need to use more though.
It's possible.
That and sometimes you might have a faulty thermometer.
Oh, that's a good point.
Because
okay.
one guy that I watch, his name is Aaron Franklin, who has Franklin's Barbecue, does master classes and stuff on smoking. He will oftentimes replace the
Thermometer?
on his grills with one that he knows are good quality and that work so that you can get a good temperature.
Oh, yeah. Is it yours the one that came with it?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
just on the lid, and when you
Yep.
put the lid on it, yeah.
Do you
and
have,
I'm looking at it and going, it should be over 300. It shouldn't be like.
Yeah, that's a good idea, Ken.
Yeah, you can get a pretty inexpensive thermometer that you could put in there, remote feed or whatever you can put in there and get a good read on what temperature it is. So
I'll have to do that. That's a good solution.
Pro
See,
tip
I
right
knew
there.
I asked the right person.
This is Masterclass with Ken.
well, I just learn from other people and then pass it on. That's what it's all about. No new ideas, you just steal them, right?
Yep.
What's
called-
good is you remember what you learned.
Yeah, that's the key part of it's called curating. You're a curator of good
There you go.
ideas.
Well, yes. So, yes, Jeremy.
We have a listener that's calling in.
Oh, all right. Okay, sorry. Looking at the screen. Got to give me the cue cards. Thanks, Jeremy. He's telling me it's all right in front of you, Ken. Just read. Cool.
We're back.
Oh boy. Everybody's going, go back home, Ken. Go back home. $7:21. It is Ken and Deb here. Good morning, and we're talking about just basically those good news stories. Those stories of helpers during this situation. And I think we got somebody who wants to share with us.
So Jean is with us. Good morning, Jean.
Well, good morning, Ken and Deb. I'd like to give some wise advice from a then 88-year-old woman. I picked up the paper at work, and it was bad news. And she's like, oh, that's because if they only put good news in the paper, it would be so heavy that you wouldn't be able to lift it.
Oh,
Wow, that's pretty interesting, isn't it?
Wise advice from an old
Yeah.
lady, right?
yeah.
is true.
Yeah, because sometimes we only focus on those few bad stories instead of the myriad of people that are doing what's right and what's good. And yeah, seeing those good things around us. That's a
Well,
good
in the
perspective.
world, too, it's the bad news that sells.
Right.
Yeah,
So
that's true. Well, that's why we're doing this program today. We need the good news.
Yes.
the good news.
That's
The
right.
good news is I'm alive today.
Amen. Yep.
That's right.
Amen.
Thanks,
Okay,
Gene.
thank you.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye-bye. Yeah, so maybe you've got a good news story you want to share with us. We'd love to hear about that. And you can call or text us.
800-221-9356. Here's Church, Take Me Back. So another thing that we were going to talk about is just returning to church this Sunday. Did anybody go back to church?
Yeah.
As far as to the building? I know we're playing Cochran and Company Church. Take
So
Me
we
Back.
did. We started our church services back. Yes. We started our church services back this week. Had two services. We normally only have one, but we did two. We set up our sanctuary with big banquet tables.
Okay.
And we separated those out to where there was social distancing, and we had sanitizer and everything on the tables. We offered masks if you didn't have one, and we specifically said, you know, families sit together. You know, if you have children and things like that, we didn't have any children's buildings open, and we had all the doors open so people could walk in, and then we
good.
had a designated exit to go out, and I mean, we try to do everything that the CDC tells us to do, and you know, we had a great turnout for the early service. Wasn't as big for the later service, but that's okay. We wanted to make sure we offered it, you know, for everybody, and so. But it turned out good. It was good to see people we haven't seen in a long time, you know, and it was great to get together. No hugging and stuff like that, you know, but still just being able to say hi and what have you been doing, and you know, how can we pray for you and
Yeah.
things like that. It was really good.
So did you
Patrick
sing?
also commented that he made it back to church.
Oh, cool.
So,
Who said that? I'm sorry, I missed it.
Patrick, it was earlier in the stream. So he's probably on a bike ride now.
Oh, that's right. He was saying he was getting ready. I saw that part.
Okay. Wonderful.
But anyway, so yeah, maybe you still want to comment as well on our Facebook. We're almost done here with Facebook Live right now, but maybe you still want to let us know. Did you go to church? And you know, how was it to be back after the time of being gone?
Now, did you sing? That's
Yes.
one thing that people are talking about, whether they should sing or not.
Oh, we did.
Yeah, okay.
We had our full band up there and did some great worship songs and had a great message. It was shortened. We only did like a 45-minute service.
Okay.
And then we would take a half hour in between and we sanitized everything. We had a whole team of people volunteered to sanitize. And then we came back and we did our second service. So, but it was good. It worked out very smoothly. I thought everybody was very respectful of the time and making sure they got out on time, you know, and visited outside so we could do the cleaning. So that was good.
That's great, Ken. That's good to hear.
Yeah. So, hey, you can still let us know. Did you go to church, or what did you do this weekend you haven't done in a while? But I think it's about time to wrap up our mid-morning show coffee break for today. We're going to continue to do this every morning, Lord willing. And so, if you weren't able to catch the whole thing today, you can check us out tomorrow morning again, right around 7 o'clock. So have a good day.